Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar hosts, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, and Bogman. On Deck podcast is sponsored by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the On Deck MLB DFS podcast brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sports. Make sure you check them out on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB, and download the app in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. It's everything you need in the palm of your hands to win your MLB and all sport DFS lineups. You can find myself on Twitter at BDentric and my host, as always, on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Scott Bogman, how are we doing tonight?
Dude, LineStar had $1 million winner the other day. Wasn't that awesome?
That's with 2 commas, people. 6 zeros.
Yeah, $1 million.
Yes.
So
football, FanDuel, $1 million. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, that was really cool to see. Also cool to see back on the board with another homer from Matt Olson today. Let's go.
Yeah, Bogman has been representing the last September. It's a hot run for Boggs. He's been crushing it on the swag meter here. So it's pretty good to see there. Matty Olson, lefty crime.
That's
right. Gotta love that. I should have apparently picked a Padre because they're all hitting home runs tonight in San Diego. So
and Bubba's not bitter about it or anything.
That's like the Giants can
listen to it before we started here.
Yeah, the Giants just hit, like Lestella went deep, but everybody else is just popping stuff around and getting doubles and stuff. But no, the Padres, they all hit home runs, so it's cool. Same baseballs probably, so it's no big deal. No big deal. No conspiracy theory here. No, I'm kidding. The Giants better win though, because the Rockies blew it and gave it back to the Dodgers tonight. So don't want to
bust out your tinfoil hat, bub. Bust it out.
I'm gonna hide in the corner and see how this works out. But this is a stressful couple of weeks coming up for the Gigantes as a Giants fan here. So
I mean, I would pay for that stress. Watching the Diamondbacks with that triple digits in the loss category is just not a great time.
But think about the awesome draft picks you're going to get next year.
Yeah, they'll pay off when I die 5 years from now. So that'll be great. I'm so sick of excuses and sick of losing.
Yeah, it's tough. But it was an interesting night of baseball, to say the least. The Yankees, Stanton, Judge, Gallo all went deep. So if you had your chalky Yankee stacks, kudos to you. Jomo got the job done. Woodruff was super chalky and he pitched great. So a lot of chalk was hitting this evening, let's put it that way. So if you faded it, you better have got lucky with certain fades. It's just the fact, if you stacked the Padres, you're sitting pretty right now because of all the home runs they hit, if you missed that in the opening segments.
Astros too.
The Astros, yeah, they 10 runs. That was a popular one. Braves put up 6. So, yeah, like the Mariners would have been a kind of sneaky around. Well, in reality, it was the Twins-Cubs game, which we talked about. Even with the weather, they hit a couple home runs, but pitching was so bad. It was like just hits. It was just hilarious. 9-5 finale there. So we'll see what Wednesday brings. 10 more games for you on a Wednesday. Fun-filled slate of action for you. And to kick things off, we have the wonderful Baltimore Orioles at the Philadelphia Phillies. Keegan Aiken going up against Zachary Wheeler, and Wheeler is by far the best pitcher on this slate. You got Aiken at 54 on DK, 67 on FanDuel. Wheeler's 10-4 on DK, only 10-7 on FanDuel. And the over-under on this game, Bogman, is 8.5. So what do you like in this one?
Yeah, I like Wheeler, obviously. Like you said, best option tonight, even at the price. 10-4 and 10-7 is super expensive. Doesn't matter. After that, I'll go with some Philly bats. Obviously, don't want too many Baltimore bats with Wheeler on the bump, but let's go with Harper. Scored a game winner tonight. That was an exciting game. Gene Segura, JT Realmuto, Freddie Galvis. I'm in on all those guys.
Yeah, throw Kutch into that list, and I'm all aboard. Realmuto, to me, is still too cheap on both sides. He used to be like the highest price catcher. He struggled, injuries and everything. He's creeping up a bit, but he's like 44 on DK on Tuesday. I think he's like 47 on Wednesday. That's still way too cheap. So get some JTR in your life. Put up another 14-plus points on Tuesday. He stole a bag. He's still doing things. So I think that's a great play on this slate. Texas at the New York Yankees. Hearn versus Kluber. Over under of 9 on this one. Hearn's 51 and 7K, Kluber 9K and 8K. I think Hearn's a good pitcher. Not tonight. Kluber, I used to fade all the time. I can see an argument versus Texas because Texas strikes out the world right now.
Yeah, and he's up to 95 pitches in his last time out, so he could probably cross 100. And he's not crazy expensive, 9,000, 8,000. So I'm in on Kluber. And the pitching to me, I don't like tonight. So
Yep.
I think I have, once again, a tasty 5 guys that I like here.
Somebody
we got to
clip that for me, please.
We got to get that as a sponsor, 5 guys over here.
Your friends at Carl's Jr. would be so angry at you.
Well, they're not my friends. All right. They never tweeted me one time during my whole stuff.
And they let you eat all that food. Imagine if you did that this year.
And then, by the way, they closed down after I quit doing the bit. What a shock, But for me, I like Kluber here. Obviously, you can stack Yankees bats. Gallo is starting to hit real well recently. Urshela has been on a heater. Stanton leads the league in, I think it's 118 mile per hour hits. He has some insane amount. Your boy Glaber, DJ LeMahieu has been good. So, yeah, it's Kluber and Yankees bats.
Yep, load up on the Yankees again. It's funny to me how Giancarlo's like a grand cheaper than Judge, when to me they're very like Judge in reality. Yes, I agree, he's the better hitter. I don't think they're $1,000 difference, and it's like a continual thing. So my line of thinking usually is if you have the money, sure. If not, just play Stanton and save $1,000 because they're very similar. So yes, Yankee stack full force as you mentioned. I'll go with Kluber too. I only like 4 guys this evening, so it's a rough night for pitching. It's a very rough. But as a big man, I'll find a 5th. Trust me, because I want some 5 guys. Of course. Now. Mets at the Boston Red Sox in this one. Taijuan Walker, Chris Sale. No total on this one just yet. Walker is 68 on DK, 78 on FanDuel. Sale 96 and 10,000. I can't trust Walker. He's been a mess in the second half of the season. Sale came off the COVID IL through like 80 pitches his last time out. Really, they've kept him limited for the most part, so I think I'm passing on Sale too.
It's just not worth the price here at 96 and 10. So I'm with you. I'm going to stick to just bats here. Schwarber 3 for 8 with 3 bombs against Walker here. 6 for 11 for JD with a double and a bomb. 3 for 7 for Jose Iglesias. 12 for 28 for Lindor against Sale with 2 doubles and a homer. And then other guys, Baez, McNeil, Alonso have been hot. And then on the Boston side, your boy Bobby Dahlbeck, Hunter Renfroe, Xander Bogaerts, Verdugo, and Devers have all been hitting. So I'm going to stick to solo bats on that one.
Yeah, Bogarts had a big Tuesday night. No problem going back to him and Devers and company. Bobby D is due for something as well. But this is one of those we talked about where the chalk's going to lie, how it hit on Tuesday. The Mets could be that one. They started out so strong, and then Pete Alonso went deep later. They didn't really do enough to make it pay off, but they were all below 5% rostered. And that's what you're looking for. So if it pops off, it's glorious. I think you can do the same thing for Sale against Knight. Even when Sale's pitched well, we've seen guys take him deep, like Wander Franco. And these other, like, he gets beat up, and he like 4 or 5 innings of Boston bullpen. So it's not the end of the world. So I'll go back to guys like Baez and Big Meat Pete and maybe some Lindor and company and go that route as well. But the Red Sox are the better stack here. I think the Mets have a nice contrarian angle to them tonight. Minnesota Twins at the Chicago Cubs. We'll have to wait and see what the weather looks like in this one because we have no total because it's Wrigley Field. But Joe Ryan, Kyle Hendricks, Ryan 82 and 77, Hendricks 75 and 78. I like Joe Ryan on this slate, Bogman. I like him a lot, actually, because the Cubs strike out almost 29% of the time versus righties in September.
What I have listed, you were simpatico, friendo. Joe Ryan, one of my guys as well. I just like him here against the Cubs. His 3 starts so far, 5 innings, 1 earned with 5 strikeouts against Cleveland. His other game against Cleveland was 7 with 4 strikeouts, 5 against the Cubs with 3 earned, 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. So he's already seen them before. So yeah, I like Joe Ryan here too. As far as bats go, Minnesota side only for me. 3 for 7 for Josh Donaldson against Hendricks. He's been bad. The Sano has been just smashing. Jeffers, Nick Gordon's been hitting. So a couple of Twins bats to like, but Joe Ryan is the play here in this game, I think.
Yeah, when Nick Gordon went deep on Tuesday night, I should tell you everything you need to know. So that's intriguing. Polanco and company. So I got no problem with the Twin stack in this one, barring something crazy happening. If Ryan is chalky, which on this slate with such bad pitching, he might be, then I don't mind going with the Ian Happs of the world of stuff we've talked about before, Rivas' value. But for now, I like Joe Ryan as my secondary option on this slate. St. Louis at the Milwaukee Brewers, Miles Mikolas, Brett Anderson on this one. Mikolas is 66 and 67, Anderson 79 and 62. I'm going all bats on this one.
Yeah. What bats do you like? That's pretty much it. Manny Pena 4 for 8 with a bomb against Michaelis. Locane 4 for 14, double and a bomb. 7 for 18 for Arenado against Anderson with 2 homers. 3 for 7 for Tommy Edman. And then Tyler O'Neill just is crushing. Dylan Carlson, Goldie, Edmundo Sosa, Pablo Reyes, if he's in the lineup, has been hitting a little bit. Luis Urias has been hitting as well. So I'm with you, Bub. It's just bats.
Yeah, Arenado, Goldie, and O'Neill for sure. I love the Sosa and Bader value. When it comes to St. Louis, I guess Molina can be in play too, but the big three, the value for St. Louis. The Milwaukee side, it's interesting because Mikolas pitches to way too much contact. So Adames is back. You got to have a Sell back. Kane's been swinging it okay. Urias is there. It's interesting because they're inconsistent with their production, but Mikolas just doesn't strike anybody out. This Milwaukee team could pop off at a given moment. So Game Stack City, Milwaukee and St. Louis. Hopefully it pays off for us in this one. Dodgers at Colorado, Walker Buehler, German Marquez over under 10.5 with the two aces on the bump. Buehler 98 and 94, Marquez 74 and 86. I don't mind Walker Buehler tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look, he was good his last time out at Colorado. It was 7 innings, 2 earned, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. So, yeah, he's definitely in play. I like Marquez at home, but not against the Dodgers. I don't want to mess with them. And he is extra cheap today. But just looking at some PVB here, Mookie Betts 5 for 9 against Marquez, 3 for 8 for Chris Taylor against him as well. Then just some hot Dodgers hitters: Turner, Lux, Will Smith, Muncy, Seager, other Turner, any Turner you want in this game. So
take a
Turner, pick a Turner, any Turner. So absolutely, they're always expensive, but you can stack Dodgers if you can find a way to afford it.
Yep, keep playing Gavin Lux because he's free in Colorado. And one thing I'll say is, I believe it was Rayleigh is his name. He's an outfielder for the Dodgers. He played time to time earlier this year. He's back, and he was starting on Tuesday, and he's like $2,500. So if he's in the lineup again, keep an eye on him also. But otherwise, it's the usual suspects like you mentioned. Pricey, good spot for sure. Houston at the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. We got Luis Garcia going up against Jansen Junk. Over under 9 on this one. Garcia 10K and 83. Junk 63 and 55. Garcia is good, not 10K good. And give me all the bats versus Junk.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I have, is that he's not worth the price. So Jared Walsh is 6 for 9, 2 doubles, 2 bombs against Garcia. So he should probably be in play. But Correa, Siri, Myers, Altuve, Tucker, Gurriel, whoever you want on the Astros side for sure.
Yep, keep riding the train. Series $2,100 price bump on DraftKings. Gurriel's a hitting machine. Kyle Tucker hit number 27 on Tuesday. Altuve went deep. Just Correa's hitting everything. So go down the list. Astros big tonight. Couple more games to go for you here before we get to those. Make sure you guys check out the LineStar YouTube channel so you can see these pretty faces when they're breaking down some baseball and football for you for the On Deck show and the pre-snap show. Go subscribe over there, give you a thumbs up, leave a comment from time to time, would help us out a lot. Or just go to iTunes and give a rating and review on the podcast, would help us a ton as well. Atlanta at Arizona, we got Ian Anderson versus Merrill Kelly, over under of 9. Anderson's 84 and 8,000, Kelly 65 and 84. I just can't bring myself to either one of these guys either, Boggs.
Ian Anderson, I'm okay with here. The Diamondbacks.
He's your 5th guy compared to my 4. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that we're different on. So probably just because I'm down on my D-backs a little bit, but I like this price at 84 and 8,000. Jock Peterson is 3 for 8 against Kelly with a double. Other than that, I mean, Rosario has obviously been hitting. Duvall, Riley, Freeman. And if you're not on the Ian Anderson train, Cattell, Walker, Rojas, Varsho, the usual suspects that don't suck every day for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, if you want to go Anderson, that's fine. He's just not striking guys out right now, but I get it. If not, I am 100% with the Marte Rojas clan. But I'm all about the Braves again. I've been stacking them each game so far, and I'll go back to Rosario. Riley went deep on Tuesday. Albies went deep on Tuesday. Freeman's starting to get multi-hit games again. Keep stacking up your Braves. They're doing just fine. And some of them aren't too expensive. Some are very good, like Rosario. Seattle at Oakland on this one. Chris Fleckson versus Cole Irvin, over under 8.5. Fleckson 7K and 78. Irvin 58 and 82. I said earlier, if you have to punt, you can go Cole Irvin on DK. I don't want to, though.
I mean, yeah. I 3 starts against Seattle. He hasn't made it past the 5th inning. So
it's not good
for Irvin. So I'm not going to do it because I looked and I was like, okay, he's striking out a little more. Maybe I'm into him. And then I went and Nah, Seattle just for whatever reason they get him. Elvis Andrus 4 for 10 with 2 doubles against Fleckson. Mark Canha 3 for 8 with a double. 3 for 9 for Olsen with a double as well. 4 for 5 for Tommy Murphy with a double against Irvin, and then JP Crawford 5 for 8 with a double as well. Kalanick is one of the hottest hitters in baseball right now. France. Dylan Moore is actually hitting for once this year, finally at the end. Seager, Harrison, Chapman. I'm going to pick out of those bats there.
Yep, totally with you on a potential value in this one. We saw Seattle put up a 5 spot on Tuesday. Like they'll come through once in a while. Crawford went deep on Tuesday. Don't mind Seager, who had an extra base hit in there as well. France is expensive, but a good spot versus Irvin. And then Oakland, you can go back to the big man, Matty Olson versus Fleckson. Lefties crush Fleckson, so you can go that route. Like a Jed Lowry could be interesting there, and some other, if you want to go to the right-handed side of the plate, your Marte, who went deep again on Tuesday. This could be, like, I'm not saying full game stack, but some nice pieces there. Now, your game stack comes up with the last game of the evening. San Francisco Giants take on the San Diego Padres. Scott Kazmir, who we want to stack against, but I will say it'll be a bullpen game, so don't get your hopes up. He'll throw an inning or two. And then Vinny V, my boy, Vinny V. So stack all the Giants. Late night hammer on Vinny V.
I mean, who are we stacking here? Because it's not like either one of these teams until tonight have been hitting crazy well. I mean, Frazier, Pham, Tatis, Machado on the San Diego side. I've got Belt, Crawford, Bryant, Wade on your Giants side. Who else do you want?
La Stella. He's hitting very well.
Stella, okay,
very, very well. But pretty much Belt, Crawford, Bryant, Wade would be my big 4.
Okay.
La Stella is super cheap though. He makes a nice piece, leads off. If he's not getting hits, he's walking and scoring runs. So he's like a cheap piece of the pie. That's where I'd be looking there for sure. And then see what the lineup looks like. They mix and match. Like Longo's he's super cheap. He went deep tonight. He's starting to get healthy again. He was like 3,400, while everybody else is like 5K. So find a couple cheap pieces with some of the big boys, and that's what I would do because Vinny V is Vinny V. So like, I'm not as excited. I'm not as excited for the Padres just because it's a bullpen game and they're going to mix and match and make it interesting. Like Machado hit 2 home runs tonight, and I said the Padres hitting all the home runs, so go for it. But I think the Giants are the stack I want for sure.
Now, let me ask you this: Do you like watching that green bar go? Are you more nervous when it's green and then it starts sliding down because you don't have late guys, or do you like it when it's not green and then you have the late guys and it starts ticking back up? Which one gets to you more, I should say? Do you get more excited or do you get more nervous?
I obviously always want to see as much green bar as possible. That's always great. I want to be in there. That's no doubt. But I will say some of the most fun is when it's like, it's fun when you have a bunch of time remaining, at bats remaining. So you have a bunch of late night guys knowing that it's like 3 home runs later, you're like making people cry.
Yeah.
But more often than not, it's fun being up there and staying up.
You you would definitely be the bad guy in a Marvel movie for sure.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah.
100%. I'd be There's no questioning that at all. That's definitely a thing. I'd be the Blob. Yes,
the Blob.
It's been established. Or else Kingpin. I'll be Kingpin.
Kingpin. All right. I would be the Penguin. So it's fine.
I'm not going to argue that. But yes, we're good to go there. All right. 10 games in the books. Let's recap things, Bogman. Who are your 5 guys?
My 5 guys here. I like Wheeler, Bueller, Anderson, Ryan, and Kluber. Those are the 5 guys that I like.
Yeah. I'm Wheeler, Bueller, Kluber, and Joe Ryan. So yeah, Anderson, if you want, I don't argue it at all, but same stuff here. What stacks are you looking at?
I mean, San Francisco, San Diego, like you said, you can go either side. Atlanta against Merrill Kelly is decent. Astros against Junk, I think, is good. Either side of St. Louis, Milwaukee is probably solid. I kind of like a little mini stack of Twins against the Cubs, and obviously Yankees whenever you want.
And Philadelphia. So yes, this is one of those slates because pitching is so bad. There's a lot of ways to stack.
Yeah.
So like certain slates, you just play the chalk or whatever. This is 100% where I'll just be like, okay, here's the top 4 chalky stacks. I'm going to go to the 5th one over here and just pray it works. That's the way I think. It doesn't work all the time, no, but when it does, it's glorious. So that's how I'll look at things. But what else we can look at is when you follow the LineStar Twitter account on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB, they tweet out a lot of great content, including home run calls of the day, where Bogman went deep on Tuesday with Matty Olson to win some free swag. All you got to do is retweet that tweet from my, and you'll get paired up with myself, Ryan Humphreys, or Scott Bogman. If our guy goes deep, you'll win some free swag. So Bogman on Wednesday, September 22nd. Who's your home run call of the day?
I went track record last night with Matt Olson. I'm going to go back to track record. Let's go Kyle Schwarbaum against Taijuan Walker there. Let's go, Kyle.
I like it. With Vinny V on the bump, I feel bad if I didn't go with the Gigante on this one. So it's going to be hashtag belted by the captain, Brandon Belt, tonight. So give me some Brandon Belt. I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So we're going to get some home runs, Bog. We're going to. More swag, or you're going to, because that's what you do. So we're going to have some fun in that one. We'll see what Ryan Humphreys comes up to it as well. But, hey, 10 games on a Wednesday is not too shabby. We'll be back with you guys on Thursday with more action. If you're into football, pre-snap, we have the Week 2 review is out with you guys from waiver wire stuff for Week 3. And then coming up Thursday, the bets and picks. And Friday, your Week 3 DFS main slate preview. So check it all out. Check out Bogman on Twitter at Bogman Sports. I'm at Pediatric, and we'll catch you guys next time.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the LineStar app On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to linestarapp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support KC, Bubba, and Bogman by rating and subscribing. Good luck.